It sets up so many different things, and the show itself is so epic. I would say that's sort of my feeling on it. So many different things, so many different elements. Musically, for me, there were so many different things I had to explore, and everybody gave me a lot of freedom, which was really wonderful. You know, from Tony Gilroy, Kathy Kennedy, everyone was fully supportive the whole way. So there's a lot of new themes. You know, I really, I'm very enamored of a lot of the stuff that we did, and Tony and I worked every single week for literally years on this. So Tony lives about 11 blocks from me in New York City, so we spent a lot of time together, and you know, it's really a lot of hands-on work. You know, every episode has its own musical feeling. You know, there's a lot of, as we proceed, things are constantly evolving. So there's, yeah, the scope is pretty massive, I would say. That's my best way of describing it, I think, yeah.
It's pretty thrilling to have the galaxy far, far away come here, be so near to all of us here in Hollywood, California. I'm really excited to see the premiere tonight. Well, I mean, what Tony Gilroy did with this beloved story of Cassian Andor, who I think is one of the more beloved characters from the franchise, is really dig deep, show an emotional core to him and all the characters surrounding him that I think will feel really fresh, because it really goes to the complexities of what does it mean to become someone that's willing to sacrifice everything for the rebellion, and that's the story he still had to tell, and I think he pulled it off, and I think they've got a great adventure in store for them.
Well, it is particularly exciting because we started it before COVID, and it was just such a long journey, huge shutdown, and it's just been a process, and it was full of amazing creative collaborations and amazing people. Yeah, and it is just wonderful to finally get here, and I'm so looking forward to seeing it on a big screen and seeing everyone's hard work up there. Yeah, awesome, can't wait. So it takes place in the sort of events leading up to the film Rogue One, and it's effectively the story of how Cassian Andor becomes the character he is in Rogue One. By the end of this series, that's where we'll get to. So, yeah.
Oh my God, it is so exciting to finally share it, with, at least part of the world today, and then the wider world next week. It's been a long time coming, and we are really excited and very proud to finally share what we have worked on for the last, 2.5 years and more. I mean, Tony Gilroy would always bring his very own voice to this, to anything he does. And I think, Rogue One already being a very specific, part of the franchise, was kind of the jumping point for us to go 5 years back and see, where the story began for Cassian Andor. And I think it was bound to. It had to really reflect Tony's quite unique voice. And I think we have achieved it. We're really proud, and I hope the fans will agree. God, there's so much to discover. It's such a complex story, and with a huge ensemble cast, and I cannot wait for them to get a glance of, what Cassian Andor's journey into Rogue One, how it began, and where, and how it is developing. I can't wait.
It's so exciting for me. I actually have a photo. It's a shame I haven't got my phone on me. I've got a photo on my phone from 1983 of me dressed as Darth Vader after seeing Return of the Jedi. It's the first movie I ever saw. I have felt an affinity with the dark side from that age, from the age of 6. I'm still going. So it's an unbelievably special moment for me. It feels like my life's come full circle, And a lot of people will say Rogue One was like a sort of almost like a wartime thriller, like a wartime action movie. So I think it fits in with that too, like that feeling of like mystery, intrigue, adventure, all the things you want from Star Wars, but with that dark edge, which I think is what made Rogue One stand alone. It's perfect in that respect.
To actually be here now with all of the fans who are so desperate to see it and showing so much love and appreciation, it's amazing. Well, I think Andor has capitalized completely on what Rogue One promised, which is a really adult, human, grittier, rawer exploration of the Star Wars universe, but about real human people making real sacrifices. What Tony Gilroy wrote, I mean, when I first read the initial scripts, when we were talking about the project and the character, I was like, I mean, it's all here on the page. It's so psychologically driven. It's so emotionally driven. You don't get archetypes with Tony. He writes real people, and there's light and shade. There's good and bad in everybody.
Tony Gilroy is such a brilliant writer, and he really created this huge world where characters intertwine, and with that you're able to explore your character so much more throughout the 12 episodes. And I feel like, especially with my character, I feel like who you meet at the beginning and who you end up seeing towards the end of her journey is a completely different character, and I could say the same about every single character.
It's really a privilege to play with this fabulous cast. The intensity of performances, the excitement about the whole project, and Tony's leadership and enthusiasm. So I've loved every minute of it. I think the fact that the relationships are so real, so complex, so confusing, so boundaryless, so I think that's unusual in such a thing.
We've been in a cave, it feels like, for the 3 years. Seriously, like, we've been hiding out for 3 years making this show, and here we are, hopefully turning into a butterfly tonight. It's really, you know, people talk about it, it's an emotional experience to come out and expose yourself after 3 years, and to have so many people excited about seeing it. It's really special.
This is a really special series. I mean, going back to Rogue One, and it was a movie that all of us really genuinely were surprised by the response. And the fact that we've now created this series, it's a spy thriller in the Star Wars universe. It's pretty exciting. Well, I actually started working with Tony years ago when I did Born with him. And I think Tony is just uniquely suited to be writing stories like this that are so full of tension and intrigue. And the fact that he's brought that into Star Wars, and the building of the rebellion, and being able to individualize each of the people that are associated with that, giving us real insight on Cassian Andor, giving us more insight on Mon Mothma. I mean, all of these building blocks that led to the rebellion, it's pretty great. Yeah, I think that's what people are going to be surprised by. You go into Coruscant and you get a real insight as to where people live and you know, how they make a living, what they do, and the fact that they're so, you know, oppressed by the Empire and realizing they've got to rise up and do something about it, and the banding together of, you know, the various factions. It's going to feel very different than anything I think we've done before, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's utterly surreal. I watched Star Wars when I was 6 years old, and as soon as I knew that somebody had made Star Wars, I knew that I wanted to be that person. And I've been like trying to be a filmmaker ever since then, leading up, and I didn't know it would be leading up to this moment where I'll be actually standing on Hollywood Boulevard on a red carpet, about to watch 3 of my episodes. It's really epic storytelling. I think that Tony doesn't deal in black and white. He really writes for the grayscales of humanity and the human condition. So you really don't know who you're dealing with when you're meeting these characters. You don't know whether they're good, they're bad, they're good people who do bad things, or they're bad people who do good things. It's going to take the audience into a really interesting moral territory. I think it's a real exploration into areas of Star Wars. Like it's a Star Wars we've seen no other.
I'm just so excited that we finally get to share it with everyone. You know, we worked really hard on it and we've been talking about it so much, and now it's finally here and everyone gets to see it. I'm so excited. Their locations, the cinematography, the design, our costume design, our set design. It is really cinematic in ambition, and I think people who watch it will really appreciate that. Yeah, this one starts 5 years before Rogue One, and it starts in a moment that we haven't really seen very much. It starts with Cassian Andor and my character Mon Mothma within versions of themselves that we've just not seen before. There's a long way to go before we get to Rogue One. Previously, there has been, you know, Mon Mothma has been surrounded by rebels, and when we meet her here, there is no rebellion. There is no organized rebellion. It's just whispers.
It's so exciting. I mean, I dreamed about this day for so long, you know. We've worked so hard to get here, and it's lovely. I mean, we shot this in very rough times for everyone, and being here with you, having the chance to enjoy the show in a cinema with people, it's just amazing. It couldn't be better. I'm excited also. There's a lot of Spanish-speaking people around here, which I love. It's nice to be doing it in LA. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Yeah, I see this as like 4 films, you know. I see this as 4 films. We've worked really hard. I don't know. This is new for me. This long format is new. I really enjoyed it. The opportunities, the freedom you find as an actor, the chance to explore stuff in a film you would never be able to explore. It's amazing.